Hi, Tony Bernard here from Marketing Blueprint for Contractors, and today I want to talk to you about the 9 business card sins every contractor and small business commits and how to correct them. And when you correct them, it'll help you make more profits and life easier, actually. So let's get into this first here. However, the first thing you must do is you must consider the purpose of your business card. You might have one purpose for getting more business, and then the second purpose might be just to give to other business owners. Again, it depends upon the purpose of that business card. So let me give you a couple examples here. One, it may be for just giving out to bids and proposals. It might not have your cell phone number on it. A second one might be once you get a job or a client, and it might include your cell phone number. And then a third one, or you might include it on the back of these, is one for referrals. Now we'll get into that a little bit more, so hold on. But let's talk about this. What are the 9 sins that people are committing? One is not having cards on or around you. How many times have you gone to ask for one of a friend or something, or a subcontractor, and they don't have one on them? That's terrible. Not being able to read the card. The print might be small, or it's in some obscure font that no one understands or something. And I got some examples here of that coming up here. No info about the problem you solve or your business. They're trying to guess what you do. Okay? It's not a very descriptive business card. 4, you're not using thick card stock. And we'll get into why that's so important later on here. You're not using a standard size. You're not including the right information. Info is outdated or wrong. Not handing them out like candy. I mean, they're pennies a piece, right? Hand them out. Give them out, especially if you got referral information on the back. And then the last one is not offering a referral fee. And again, use the back side of the card. That's a perfect place for it. So let's talk about a little bit more details about sin number 1. Not having business cards on or around you all the time. So I did a little trick to my daughter. My daughter is just coming into the business world, so I had some business cards made for her. Oftentimes, I'd see her and I'd just ask her for a business card, and she had 10 seconds to get me one, and I'd give her $20 if she could give me one in that time limit. She earned over $100, well over $100 in my opinion. So I was trying to ingrain that into her to always have business cards on her. Now let me ask you a question here. How much is it costing you not having business cards with you all the time? How much do you think that's costing you? It's costing you business. It most certainly is. Number 2 is not being able to read the information on your business card. It could be a small font, okay, or print. It could be fancy printing that's just hard to read. So the objective is pick a nice clean font and the right size that's reasonable, okay, for the amount of information on the card. Business card sin number 3. No information about the problem you solve or the people you help. Make it obvious the type of work that you perform. What I like to have you do also is include a USP, which stands for your unique selling proposition. Why should someone do business with you versus all the other options in a Google search or in the yellow pages? Why should they do business with you? Let's talk about sin number 4. Use nice, thick cardstock. Not some flimsy little, just barely thicker than paper. Nice, thick cardstock. It shows something about you, and I'll explain that in a little bit here. Number 5 is use standard size business cards. Nothing funny. Not that fake money, no neon colors or anything, okay? Just use a nice, thick, standard business card stock. Number 6 is not including the right information. You got to remember the purpose of the card. So let's go over the typical items that you'd want to include on it. Obviously, your name, a title if you have certificates or licenses, etc., company name, address, website. This is important here. Most people fail on this one. Capitalizing the first letter of each major word of your URL or your website. See the marketing blueprint for contractors? You can clearly see that by the capital letter of the first major word of every word that makes up my URL. Let's continue on that. Obviously, your email address, but use one related to your website, not Hotmail or Gmail. So, like it'd be Tony Bernard at Marketing Blueprint for Contractors. Actually, I tend to use Tony at TonyBernard.com because I've had that one for many, 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 many years. But don't use, if you're a roofing company or an HVAC company, don't use, Stan at Gmail. Just don't do that. Okay, it shows that you're not as big as, it projects that you're not as big as you might want to project. Number 2, obviously put in your office phone number, but you might not want to include your cell phone number, okay, depending on the purpose of the card. Another one is the unique selling proposition. Why should someone do business with you versus all the other options in a Google search or Yellow Pages? And I have some more information about unique selling proposition in another video here. I personally suggest that you include a picture on your business card, a nice, clean, close-up headshot. Okay, and I'll give you an example later on here. Sin number 7, information outdated or wrong. How many times does somebody say, oh, well, that's the wrong phone number, or that's the wrong email address, or there's just some spelling errors? That says we're a Mickey Mouse operation. So if you got something wrong or you changed something, have a new batch of business cards printed and spread them around. Have them in the truck, have them in your wallet, have them in various places, in your briefcase, have them all over the place. Okay? There is no reason why when someone says, oh, do you have a business card, that you cannot just dig into your wallet, your pocket, go to your truck and get one and hand them out like candy. Okay? Sin number 8, not handing them out like candy. Okay? Let's just assume that you buy 1,000 of them for, say, $120. That means they're 12 cents a piece. What is it costing you to not hand them out? Think of it that way. It's cheap advertising, right? Especially if you avoid sin number 9, which is not having a referral fee noted on the back of your card. Let's face it, you pay for customers some way, somehow, okay? Just offering a blatant, nice referral fee can be done on the back of your business card. This could be included, again, on the back side. And here's a sample. We reward X number reward for any referral that becomes a client, plus the new client also gets a XYZ discount. Okay, you need to have it both ways so that there's an incentive to be told where the business card came from. Okay, so that's it for the 9 business card sins. But let's recap them here. Not having cards on you all the time, not being able to read the card, no info about the problem you solve or your business. Okay, not using thick card stock. Use standard size business cards, not including the right information that needs to be on there. The information is outdated or wrong, and not handing them out like candy. And then last but not least, not offering a referral fee on the back side of your business cards. Those are the 9 marketing sins, to recap them for you. Now, lastly, let's think about this. When you hand out your business card to a prospect and they get it in their hands and they take a look at it, in those few seconds, they will come to some conclusion. You want it to be the best possible conclusion you can have. By them taking into account the above sins, you should have already helped. By taking into account the above sins, you should really help position yourself in a more favorable light. Can you grasp that? Just think about that. You hand somebody some cheap, flimsy thing that's got one line through it because the phone number's wrong, versus you hand them a nice, stiff business card with your nice picture on it, a unique selling proposition, why they should do business with you, and all the pertinent information, and maybe even referral information on the back, and it's laid out nicely. What are they going to think? you're giving yourself the most favorable option in their viewpoint, right? Of course you are. So I got two more things for you. I want to show you some past and current business cards. And for those of you that really want to grow your profits, I've got a few ideas for you, and I have some complimentary training for you as well. But let's look at some of these past business cards here. Look at this one here. Let me get my cursor here. This is one of my first ones ever, okay? That's pretty absurd. This is when I first was in the construction industry. I was self-employed in 1991. This is, look at the terrible fonts here, here. I started getting fancy with two colors. Let's go to the next one. Okay, and this is obviously my construction consulting. Started adding my picture. My hair's gotten grayer over the years for some reason. 15 years experience, so on and so forth, okay? Sort of like a USB, doing what you've always done has gotten what you've always gotten. Now is the time for change. Planning and scheduling the cornerstone of successful projects. Okay, so that was my project controls business cards. Here's my marketing ones. And I've been doing this for quite a few years now. Again, a picture. And here I'm indicating some certificates that I have. And it needs to be clear, crisp. You know, this is small, like 22 Franco Drive, but it doesn't need to be. I don't expect people to drive to my house. If you expect people to drive to your brick and mortar business, then it would want to be a little bit more legible. Now, here's my prominent business card here. I happen to be an Amazon #1 international best-selling author, and this is a PMC, Power Marketing Consulting Group certification. So I prominently display those because they're a seal of endorsement, okay? And doing what you've always done in marketing will get you what you've always gotten out of marketing. Now is the time to double your profits, and I can help you with that. But here's my main program. It's the Marketing Blueprint for Contractors. Now, let me give you just some other examples just as go-bys, okay? And you could stop and look at this later on or take a picture of the screen. Here's a chiropractor. Here's some, you just need nice layout and concise and informative, okay? Your social media links maybe, okay? Here's another option, front and back, of course, and then one more option, okay? So those are some options for business cards. Now, obviously take that into account and then take all the 9 critical items and then the items that I outlined above that you need to include. And then my business card, again, the typical format. And then now for those I said earlier that really want to grow your profits, I've got a few ideas and for you, and I have some complimentary training for you. So if you go to MarketingBlueprintForContractors.com, you can access this complimentary training. It's about a 37-minute workshop currently, and it will help you identify the single shift to help you grow your profits. The single shift, okay? And that is very important, very, very important. So again, go to Marketing Blueprint for Contractors. There might be a link below this. Check it out. And you got that complimentary workshop to understand how to grow your profits. This proven format on a business card will certainly help you. However, you watch this video and you'll get some excellent information that will help you grow your profits. Thank you very much for your valuable time. You take care and have a great day.